Hello, welcome back, you guys, to another video. I hope you guys had a great week. This week was pretty relaxing. It was really great. I got to see some family. Got to travel back to Montreal and spend some time with my sisters, those who I love the most. So it's been great. So I just hope that you guys had a great week as well. Um, Even the last message that I put out last week in terms of like just taking the moment to appreciate your season of rest. And hopefully, you guys had a chance to slowly start to feel it, slowly start to feel that, things are changing and you are going to get that rest, and you're slowly walking into it. I know sometimes it could be a little bit challenging at first, especially if you're anybody like me who is so used to always being on the go, go, go. And the rest is something that, didn't come easy to me. And it's not that this is the only first time that I'm actually getting to experiencing rest. There's been, especially since I started my walk with Christ, there's been several moments, several times where um, I've had that opportunity of rest. And at the beginning, it used to feel so foreign to me. And I used to try and fight against it because I always had this desire, this inner urge in me to just constantly want to do the next thing, go towards my next goal. And um, the Lord really had to work on me with that one, um, because it was almost as if that, again, I was trying to get ahead, and I wanted God to come along with me. I always knew in my mind, I'm like, well, God, this is for you. This is good work. And just trying to find ways for Him to um, work on my timing. But, God really had to slow me down over these past few years and had to get me to really see the urgency, the importance, um, and even just the blessing that rest is. So I hope you guys had the chance to sit in some rest um, this past week and really truly embrace it, because it is truly a gift from God and one that, I'm so thankful for. So I have a few messages this week, and we'll see if I get a chance to record all of them. And I just want to say thank you for following me on this journey. And if these messages resonate with you, and I'm so honestly grateful and thankful. Um, I don't take this calling lightly, and I hope that I can actually pour into your life, pour into your journey, um, so that these messages can resonate with you and you get a little um, knowledge, insight, whatever it is that you need to get on your journey, and hopefully that it will impact your life the way that it's supposed to. Anyhow, so one of the messages, so on this channel, there's going to be a few things. So I am one that I have learned also to um, embrace the gifts that, God has given me. And the more that we walk along in this journey on this channel, I will definitely get a little bit more into teaching in terms of recognizing your gifts and your skill sets, and just talents that are from God, how to submit them to God, how to get God to really cultivate that, shape that, mold that, so that you're actually able to then walk um, in your season of using your gifts and talents that God has blessed you with. So we're going to get more into teaching on that later on. But for now, it's just, like I said, I am so respectful of this calling. And um, anyhow, all that the Lord has given me, all of the gifts that the Lord has given me, I try to use it to help others. And one of the ways that the Lord has been impressing upon me is that, there's different gifts, there's different dreams I get even when I spend my quiet time with the Lord, and there's different messages that I get, um, and so I'm just going to use this moment just to really share these with you guys, because there's a few, and even just little life lessons that I encounter throughout the weeks, um, throughout the week. Um, Try to share that with you guys. So I'm definitely going to try for this platform um, to really try to put out some messages every week, um, with the hopes that it may benefit you guys along in your journey. So, um, I guess the first thing that came to me, first one of the lessons that came to me this week was that God's in control of everything. God is in control of everything, and not for us to be so quick to judge our circumstances. So a lot of the times, um, we may be in situations that are very uncomfortable to deal with, emotionally, but also, especially if you're dealing with public, if you're interacting with people, let's just say it's a work scenario, it can be challenging at times. It really can be, and even if it's not the situation that you're dealing with at work, it could be with your family, it could be with close friends, it could be with business um, partners, relationships, like things like that. Um, and a lot of the times, certain situations may come up, and the circumstances itself may make you very difficult, may make you very difficult, and may make you feel very uncomfortable. Um, and a lot of the times, we can get into a space, if we're not careful, we can get into a space where we judge the situation, or we begin to have different sentiments towards it, and it's not always positive. It's sometimes it's negative, and it's you can get into a space where you feel very angry, you feel very disappointed in people, you feel very I'm trying to find the right words. Almost like if sometimes it feels like it's a betrayal of some sort, and we can feel that certain circumstances are unfair to us. And I encountered that. It wasn't necessarily per se to do with me, but I encountered that this week. And the Lord had to remind me. And that's why, because it's not to say that I haven't been in situations like this. I have in the past. But the Lord had to work on my heart, had to work on even just the way that I perceive certain situations. And it was only until this week that it came back into my memory. And I was like, okay, Lord, what is it that you want me to see from the situation? What is it that I may have missed? What is it that you're trying to, I guess, bring back again into my remembrance? And it was one of those things that, again, not to judge the situation, because sometimes you may be given certain situations, you may even be given many opportunities to change, and sometimes um, we don't always heed to that particular calling, or sometimes we're not aware of that a change needs to take place. And all the times it's not external change, it's all internal, it's all within. um, But for whatever reason, it could be different attachment styles. It could be your fear of conflict. It could be your fear of speaking up, or it could just be complacency. Sometimes they're just kind of used to accepting um, unfair treatment from people, bad behaviors, and you may allow yourself to stay in a situation that is not productive for you. And when I say not productive for you, the Lord really, again, pressed upon me that it's not so much um, in a physical manner. It could also be emotionally, and it can also be mentally, and even more than that, it's spiritually. There's certain lessons that you need to learn, and sometimes it's these situations that come up that it's almost as if it's trying to nudge you to change. It's trying to nudge you to open up your eyes. It's trying to nudge you to see something. Um, a lot of times, if you don't see it, and it could be the same reoccurring issue. It doesn't matter if you change jobs. It doesn't matter if you have different friend groups, or if it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter even if it's in your family cycle. If you are constantly dealing with the same issue and a change has not happened, what will happen, especially with God, is that you will get opportunities to change. But God will have to place you in situations, circumstances where it gets really challenging, where it gets really painful, where it becomes obvious at that point to you that you can no longer stay in that situation. And unfortunately, when that time comes, it almost feels as though it is so unbearable to even deal with. Um, People on the outside, that's not so connected to the situation, to them it may feel like, well, I don't see what the big deal is. But to you who's currently going through that circumstance, and it could be, like I said, anything to deal with mistreatment, people abusing you, um, you dealing with toxic cycles, toxic dynamics, you dealing with gossiping, bullying on the job, within your friend group, even family dynamics, even relationally with, relationships, whether you're married, you're dating, boyfriend or girlfriend, like, right? You may be dealing with that. Um, and I'm speaking very delicately because I'm mindful of how this message may come across. And it's not to say that it's not to say that these things don't hurt, because they absolutely do. They absolutely do. Um, and a lot of injustice may be undone to you, may be done to you. But all that to say, God sees everything, God hears everything, God knows everything. So a lot of the times, again, like I said, you may be quick to judge the circumstance as it being negative, but the Lord is using it to actually benefit you. The Lord is using it for your good. Because without those circumstances, without that pressure, without the circumstance being so unbearable, you would not move. You would not change. You would not get to the end of yourself. And the Lord needs you to get to the end of yourself, where you just decide that you're going to surrender it all. And even if it means that you walk away from certain people, certain places, certain things, that is what needs to happen. And it's only until that point you reach the end of yourself, then the Lord could actually come in. Once you make that decision, then the Lord could come in and walk with you on your next steps and in your journey to healing. That's how great the Lord is. The Lord already knows what you need. And you staying in situations, you staying in cycles, you staying in places that abuse you, that misuse you, that mishandle you, and you staying there is only coming into agreement with that sort of stuff, that sort of behavior, those sort of people. And the Lord has so much more in store for you. And the Lord does not want you to deal with that. So you need to come to the end of yourself. And you need to also know that the situation, however it may be, and how challenging it may be, and how painful it is, because it is painful. The Lord wants you to know that you will get through this moment. The Lord has always been with you. Um, but also not to doubt in the goodness of God, because God is so good. Um, but the Lord wants you to surrender it all to Him. And if you can get yourself, allow yourself to get into a space where you're not judging um, those situations, those circumstances so harshly, and just allow the Lord to work on your heart. Allow the Lord to walk you through your season, your next steps of healing. And with time, I promise you. And like, the Lord is my witness. I have so many testimonies about this that you will feel healing. You will feel love again in your heart. Um, and none of this was to punish you, but it was for your greater good, and it was for you to move, because God has so much more in store for you, and God just needs you to hold on to that. Hold on to that. All right, guys. So that's the end of this message. I have so many more to record. Um, I just want to say God bless you guys and love you.